Hello, lovely people. Welcome to our weekly reading for the week of the 19th of August. I hope you're all well. I hope you've all had a good week. And I hope that you're looking forward to hearing what the cards have to tell us this week. Let's have a look and see, shall we? So we have the Sun and Judgment and the King of Swords. Okay, this is really quite powerful now. We have two major arcana cards here. We have the Sun, which is considered to be the best card in the deck. And we have the Judgment card, and this is very much about renewal. It's about rebirth, if you like. And then we have the King of Swords, which is a court card, and therefore this is a card about an aspect of yourself that you already exercise, if you like, or need to address, or it could be somebody that is in your inner circle or somewhere in your circle that could be a mentor for you, somebody that will help you. So if we look at this, if we just go through them as we do, as I say, the Sun here, it's considered the best card in the deck. It signifies optimism, and generally everything is working out as it should. So this is what this card is about. This is what it signifies. Because the Sun is life, and it's light, and it's vitality. So every day the sun rises, and every day this is an opportunity to feel grateful for existing. And it's an opportunity to make good choices and to celebrate living. So it's not necessarily a card for victory, but more for the pleasure that comes from knowing that your life is good, and that it's good when it's good. If you understand what I mean. So it's very much about conscious living in the now, as opposed to living in retrospect, or seeing things in retrospect. We sometimes can look back with rose-tinted glasses and say, oh, that was a really good time. But did you actually realize it was a good time at the time? So this is really what the Sun is reminding you to do, that life is good, and appreciate it in the now, appreciate that it's good. And the child here in this card, it highlights children, they live in the moment and they're vibrant and joyous. And it highlights that sense of wonder in everything. Everything is okay. Look how open this child is. And it's open to new opportunities, open to new possibilities. And there's a real orange hue in this card as well, and that highlights passion and enthusiasm. And the yellow here from the Sun highlights ideas with planning. So it's very much about believing in life's possibilities and joyously sharing your energy. And and believing that that there is a spiritual nourishment at work. So playful children, and any of us that are around children, we can see that how children have this enthusiasm naturally. And sometimes adults do retain this connection to their spiritual self and to their inner child. And this, of course, then enables them to access this vivacious energy and creativity much more easily. Some adults lose that, and they find it difficult to remember, if you like, what it was like to believe in the impossible, to believe in everything. And I have to say, it is one of the reasons why I absolutely adore being around children, because I love that energy that they have. And young people, there's just so much full of hope and craziness, really. I mean, but really, you know, really good crazy. And so that's really what the sun is doing here. It's describing this approach to life with optimism, and it's eager for the rewards that would be connected with your personal effort. So this is a time to enjoy the present moment, and it represents very much a creative, successful outcome. So whatever it is that you're doing, if you're putting all this passion and enthusiasm into it, there will be a successful outcome. And you know, the child here as well, it's sort of it's a reminder not to always be looking for the problems, because as children we don't do, you know, they don't do that. So it's instead, this card is saying, instead, look at the magic of existence. That, you know, this really embodies the child. So you don't need to be in control of everything. And the horse here, I mean, the horse here is quite significant. You know, he's big in the picture, and the horse symbolizes assistance. And so what this is telling you really here as well is that if you need help, then solutions will present themselves, because the horse is very much about assistance, symbolizing assistance. Now, if we then look at judgment, and judgment is about rebirth, and it's about renewal, and it's about restoration. And so this card represents like reawakening and returning to life after loss. And, you know, it can be particularly relevant for those people who have been going through a difficult time, and to see that, you know, that there is life beyond loss. And again, this is, you know, marries kind of with the sun here on that. And the judgment is very much, it represents, you know, we're talking about all different kinds of losses here. So judgment does represent your ability to abandon the thoughts and the habits and the attitudes that don't serve you. That's very much what this card is about. And of course, that's loss. And this is a loss that you know, that you, for your greater good. And so those would be things like fear, maybe, and hopelessness, and maybe avoidance, certainly procrastination, any sort of self-limiting behavior. These are all mental graves that it's time to step out of. And the time to step out of them is now. This card has appeared in the reading, so the time is you need to step out of this now. So you need to confront this. You need to challenge this side of yourself. And, you know, maybe you've been avoiding maybe a personal goal that promises to make your life better, but you're avoiding it because you're afraid of failing. That's so common with people. And then the angels in the tarot, they symbolize your higher self. And the notes from the trumpet, they symbolize that you're going to be hearing from your higher self loud and clear. And so your higher self is trying to get in touch with you. Listen to it. And it's your higher self. Your higher self is that side of you that believes in you, that you know, that knows that you're perfect before your before your lower self, if you like, started to crowd your mind with thoughts of failure and inadequacies. So this card is very much about listening to your higher self, that side of you that's really deep inside of you, and that just knows that you're perfect. And the trumpet here is letting you know that you're going to be hearing from your higher self. So this card is telling you that a new day has dawned. Now, you know, with judgment, it declares that there is still life to live. And all the figures that are here in the card, these are all facets of yourself. And they're dreams that you've abandoned. They're goals that you've forsaken. There are hopes that were crushed. But all of these things were necessary to make you the strong person that you are today. So celebrate those things that have made you who you are today. So when this card appears, this is your best self. Your best self is your higher self, and it's giving you a wake-up call. It's saying time to step out of your self-imposed mental grave. Push past your self-limiting behaviours, particularly, about your potential and your worth. And it's saying breathe new life into projects and dreams. So it's telling you that you can start living the life that you want to live now. But you do need to summon up the courage to step up and step out and to live consciously. And this card talks about conscious living as well, doesn't it? So, everything in nature changes. We know that. Everything in nature changes and it dies. And it can be really sad to look back. But everything in nature reflects rebirth. And that rebirth includes you. So just keep that in mind for the moment, because I just want to talk briefly about the King of Swords on his own. So this card is, the King of Swords is very much about challenging your assumptions. And we're talking about, again, we had the Queen of Swords recently, and the swords are about thoughts and the intellect, and the King of Swords, like the Queen, is very clear thinking, very much deals with facts and practical matters. So and the King, whereas the Queen of Swords represents a feminine approach to life, the King of Swords is very much about representing the masculine approach to life. And it's very much about clear thinking, and it's practical. This King of Swords is attracted to things like science and logic, very sharp mind, and communicates easily. This is a person that enjoys learning and very curious about the world. So the King of Swords is asking you to examine how you might be limiting yourself based on your assumptions. So it's very much about challenging your assumptions, that this card is. So, are you unconsciously allowing old fixed views to colour your perceptions of yourself or your perceptions of other people? Do you feel like that you can't get ahead because maybe you're a woman, you're a minority, you may be gay, you may be poor, you may be disabled, or you just feel that the deck is stacked up against you? What are the assumptions that you're making? Are you making assumptions about yourself? Are you making assumptions about other people? Because the thing is, we've all been raised in a world of assumptions, and we live in a world of assumptions every day. Every day we're unconsciously presented with attitudes of racism, of sexism, of phobias, that colour our view of the world. And people fear what they don't understand. So when this King of Sword card appears, it's placing you in contact with your own assumptions that need to be challenged. So what assumptions, do you have that you need to challenge? Maybe they're just narratives that you have unconsciously absorbed from external society, for instance, about how far you can go or how much you can achieve. And it's so much, you're female, you can't do that, or you can't do it as well as that, or you'll never be good enough. Maybe, your teacher said, oh, you'll never amount to anything, when you were a child, and you brought that assumption up with you. So there isn't a single person in this world that isn't living by some assumption or other. And what this card is doing, it's telling you to examine your assumptions so that you can then go back to your judgment here, card and let go of them. Examine and then let go in order to move forward here. And the other thing is that sometimes, the King of Swords can symbolize that you might have difficulty with changing your mind about something. And that would be something that seems settled. And so this card is reminding you that you can change your mind, that it's absolutely, perfectly okay to change your mind. And, that this is the part maybe that needs to lose its rigidity, that it can be awfully rigid if you can't change your mind. And we all need to have that flexibility to learn something new and therefore change our mind. And so it's very much about, understanding, and represents understanding much more acutely, so that you can make reasoned arguments and arrive at, say, like evidence-based conclusions. So I think there's a real interesting message going on here. And I think, when you've got the Sun and you've got Judgment here, it's suggesting a period of significant inner growth, for instance, transformation, and is definitely a spiritual awakening. This is screaming at you here. And it indicates that there are brighter days ahead, that you may have come through some really difficult times here, but there are really brighter days ahead, because the Sun is providing that energy to overcome any obstacles and to promote any healing that's needed. And meanwhile, the Judgment is it's about the necessary insights to make life-altering decisions. So it's kind of representing that you're on a path towards your life purpose, and that, your efforts will pay off. But and it can also mean that you may be ready for new beginnings, because, it is, if you're waking up to your higher self, that may very well be a new beginnings. But most definitely we're talking about making critical decisions here, having a clear understanding of what needs to change in your life. And it also indicates success and happiness and clear thinking, because this is what the King of Swords is bringing, and that you have the necessary skills and knowledge and resources to achieve your goals. And when you get the Sun and the King of Swords, it indicates that your life is in perfect alignment and that everything is working out as planned, because you have a clear sense of purpose and you know exactly what it is you want to achieve. And so it's encouraging you to use your intellect, King, and your intellect and your logic to make informed decisions, because you're capable of taking bold actions and making the right choice. So, I'm just loving all of this together. And then, you look at Judgment in the middle of all of this again, and it's suggesting, again, this significant moment of self-reflection and awakening, that is about examining your life and beliefs and decisions. And it's about doing so with honesty and objectivity. This is your honesty and your objectivity here. So, together, these two together, they can indicate a need for, say, logical and analytical thinking, as well as a willingness to face, what's difficult or uncomfortable, so that you can pursue, a path of, say, spiritual growth. So it can absolutely, symbolize the importance of embodying, the King of Swords within yourself. That would be the honesty and integrity and rationality, so that you can move forward with confidence and decisiveness. And the Sun in all of this is telling you, yes, you can do the work here, then this is your reward. This is where you will come. You will head into a much, much brighter future. So, lovely people, this is our reading for this week. I hope it resonates with you. It certainly does with me. I'm loving this message of this week. And if it does resonate with you, do leave me a comment below. You can subscribe to this channel to be notified for the next reading. And if you would like to know more, you can book a private reading with me. You'll find my email address in the description of the video. So, lovely people, until next week, I'm going to love you and leave you.